Streaming on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 at 10.
Tonight on News 6, a child locked inside an apartment gym allegedly assaulted by a 71-year-old man. We hear from neighbors who were there when the police arrived.
If we promote love, if we promote memory, we can defeat hate.
An emotional next step for the Pulse Memorial. People stopping by the site as artifacts are removed ahead of demolition. And are you feeling lucky tonight with a $1 billion lottery drawing? We'll tell you the odds you have of getting that winning ticket. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Bell. Locked in a room and assaulted by a stranger. That is what the Orange County Sheriff's Office says happened to a child yesterday in her apartment complex gym. Investigators also say the victim's family held the man down until deputies arrived. Your Orange County community correspondent Troy Campbell is outside the jail where the suspect is right now. Troy.
According to online jail records, Lucas is being held here at the Orange County Jail without bond. We went out to that apartment complex and we spoke to people who witnessed that scene on Sunday evening.
This last night we pulled into the complex. We seen the police over there, but we didn't know what was going on.
Ethan Saray says he saw deputies with the Orange County Sheriff's Office block off the area of the Community Fitness Center on Sunday evening at the Talia at Maitland Apartments.
It was like 6 police cars around the front of the, like right there in the leasing office. We pulled in, we asked them if we could go this way to come home. They was like, no, this whole area was blocked off.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office arresting 71-year-old Larry Lucas on a charge of lewd or lascivious molestation. Investigators say on Sunday evening, a girl under the age of 12 was alone inside the gym at the complex. Not long after, the girl says Lucas came up to her and groped her body. Investigators say Lucas then stepped outside the gym for a few minutes, and that's when the girl texted a relative what had happened. The report states the family was alarmed by the text, so they quickly went to the fitness center. Once they arrived, they say the door was locked, with Lucas alone inside the gym with the girl.
I'm happy she was able to get help quickly, with her family being able to get down there and stuff.
Isma Henrizme lives in the complex and says she's thankful the victim's family was able to convince Lucas to unlock the door and hold him down until deputies arrived.
But I'm happy they held him down, didn't let him just get away and go away with it because, he deserved to be charged.
Detectives say they also reviewed surveillance video from inside the fitness center, which is described to show exactly what the victim says happened. So how thankful are you that the cameras were rolling?
That's huge because, stuff like this, he might be take it to court and try to allegedly lie about something like this. So to have that concrete evidence and that proof.
And according to court records, Lucas has had several felony drug-related arrests in the past. And again, he's being held here at the jail without bond. I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
A woman facing felony charges after allegedly pushing a child underwater in a hotel pool has a lot of people talking. This happened Friday afternoon at the Gaylord Palms Resort, and now we're learning more about what exactly happened. Your Osceola County community correspondent Laverne McGee has been following this and has the latest.
Osceola County Sheriff deputies say that a woman took matters into her own hands when she thought another child was picking on hers in a pool here at the Gaylord Palms Hotel. I'm your Osceola County community correspondent Laverne McGee. Here's what's happening to her. 36-year-old Tiffany Lee Griffith of Fort Myers has been arrested for aggravated child abuse. According to the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, there are questions about the way she handled another child in a pool at the Gaylord Palms. The booking report says in part, the female moved behind one of the male children and placed both her hands on the child's shoulders. The female fully submerged the child underwater for approximately 2 to 4 seconds. Osceola County Sheriff's Office posted this statement on Facebook saying, in part, the suspect entered the pool and yelled at a 6-year-old boy after he allegedly dunked her 6-year-old son underwater. The victim exited the pool visibly upset and suffering from a nosebleed and immediately reported the incident to his parents. The suspect then began yelling at the victim's mother before leaving the area. The post has over 2,000 comments. Some were upset the woman put her hands on another person's child. Others sided with her.
You don't touch another person's child, period.
But veteran attorney Mark Needjames says even though people may be tempted to discipline someone else's child, the law will not be on their side.
If she touched that child, that was wrong. You don't take the law into your own hands and then teach that kid a lesson.
Gaylord Palms Resort and Convention Center is a part of Marriott Bonvoy. We reached out to see if they had lifeguards or could provide a comment. We've not heard back. There are also 911 calls and video that we have requested. We're being told that is being held by the state attorney's office. In Kissimmee, your Osceola County community correspondent Laverne McGee, News 6.
More than 9 years since the mass shooting at Pulse nightclub, the city of Orlando is taking a major step forward with their plans for a permanent memorial. Today, items from inside the club were packed up and moved as part of the preparation for the building to be torn down. Our Catherine Silver was at the site looking at the city's plans moving forward.
More than 9 years since the mass shooting here at the Pulse nightclub, the city is taking a major step forward towards making a permanent memorial. Monday, some of the items from inside of this nightclub were packed up and put into safe storage, part of the process before this building is torn down. One by one, each crate was carefully removed, giving a glimpse into what was inside the Pulse nightclub.
There are some large posters. There's some promotional flyers. There's a cash register.
It's a process the facility's division manager says they're handling with sensitivity at such a solemn site.
All of the items are in custom-made crates. They're also packed with archival-grade materials.
This temporary memorial has been largely untouched in the 9 years since a gunman shot and killed 49 people and wounded more than 50 others.
I know someone very close to me who said they would have been here during the shooting had something else not happened.
The pictures, the tributes, the flashes of so many stories overwhelmed Jeria Ford Jameson.
I just got so emotional. Tears were rolling down. And
you've driven by many times before. What made you get out of the car today?
Because last night I heard on the news that they were going to start coming and taking out some of the items that were in here. So I said, let me get out now while I'm here so I can go and see it for myself.
Jonathan de Almeida came all the way from Venezuela.
It happened at 2:02 a.m., a moment when everyone is relaxed in a place that was a harbor, that was safe for you to feel.
The artifacts removed from the building Monday may become part of the permanent memorial the city has been working on since the One Pulse Foundation dissolved. Once the design is done, construction is expected to begin next fall.
If we promote love, if we promote memory, we can defeat hate.
Along with the items that were moved Monday, there are additional structural elements like the Pulse sign and some pieces of the flooring that will also be preserved. I'm told that will happen closer to the actual demolition date, which is expected this spring. In Orlando, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
They are fast, electric, and sometimes look exactly like an old-fashioned bicycle. We're talking about e-bikes, and the rules about them can be confusing. So we asked the Orange County Sheriff's Office to help explain them to us. Officials say there are 3 classifications that make an e-bike a bicycle: pedals, throttle assist, and peaking at 28 miles per hour. If you're going above 28 miles an hour, that puts you into the motorcycle category. Now, if you commit a traffic violation, the punishment depends on whether you did it as a bicyclist or a motorcyclist. Also, each city has different rules and regulations when it comes to e-bikes. For example, in Orange County, e-bikes classified as bicycles can go anywhere, and riders are limited to 10 miles per hour on sidewalks.
As you can see, it's a $62.50 fine. Bicycle helmet is the same, $62.50. Once you start to get into moving violations, they can start off at $129 and go all the way up to $454 depending on the violation.
One major issue is that the e-bikes are not manufactured with speedometers, making it hard to track your speed. And when it comes to charging, experts say only use the charger that comes with the e-bike. The bigger the jackpot, the bigger the dream. We know a lot of people would love to take home $1.6 billion right now. And we've talked about the small chance of winning, but how small exactly? News 6's Alex Cook puts it into perspective.
The Powerball jackpot is now up to $1.6 billion, the 5th highest jackpot in U.S. history. That drawing is tonight, and we all know how we'd spend that money if we won. We buy expensive toys, help out our families, maybe quit our jobs, and we've all heard the advice on staying quiet about your winnings and investing it wisely. But just how likely are we to need that advice? The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are 1 in 292 million. That's very unlikely. And just to visualize how unlikely that is, I compared it to the odds of some other unlikely things.
Ashley Johnson knows what she'd do with $1.6 billion.
Get my daughter a car, put some definitely back for my two younger ones that are in school still for college.
But let's take a look at how likely she is to win. The odds, 1 in 292 million. How does that compare to, say, getting struck by lightning?
The odds of getting struck by lightning in your lifetime are only 1 in 15,000. Getting struck twice by lightning, 1 in 9 million. Still way more likely. Feeling lucky? The odds of rolling a 6-sided die on the same number 10 times in a row is about 1 in 60 million. Still way more likely than winning the lotto. Let's see how I do. And I'm out. And look, up in the sky. The odds of being hit by a meteorite from space are only 1 in 1.6 million. Much more likely than winning the Powerball lottery.
Johnson says she knows the odds are against her, but she still has hope.
It's a possibility. You have to have faith, hope, and, if pixie dust.
She's not the only one.
Good luck. I hope you
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's Christmas, you never know.
But now that I've seen just how tough those odds are, I think my chances are just as good if I throw my ticket away. That drawing will be 10:59 tonight on News 6. And, well, somebody's got to win, right? In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
That's right. Fingers crossed. Again, that Powerball jackpot is $1.6 billion. And we will bring you the winning numbers coming up in just an hour at 11 on News 6. Last month, we told you about an Apopka family who lost tens of thousands of dollars after a roofing company cashed their insurance check but never replaced their roof. Still to come, another couple and their neighbor reached out to us saying something similar happened to them with the same company. News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden is looking into it.
Now, while we're tracking a pretty warm Christmas over the next few days, the big kicker here is what's going to be happening as we approach 2026. I'm tracking a major cold blast, and I'll have all the details coming up next.
And a beloved children's show has a new home with NASA, the Out of This World collaboration on the Space Coast. You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Monday night, covering Altamont Springs, Baldwin Park, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
Tonight, fallout after a News 6 investigation. Just last month, we told you about an Apopka family who was out tens of thousands of dollars after a roofing company cashed their insurance check but never replaced their roof. Now our investigation takes us from Orange County to Palm Beach County, where another couple and their neighbor tells us something similar happened to them with the same company. They contacted News 6 investigator Louis Bolden for help.
My jaw dropped.
We saw the News 6 article with the Colemans. We're like, that is exactly what's happening to us here.
When Scott Barr and Christina Baez saw our previous investigation about Steve Coleman and his wife losing thousands of dollars to a company named Hurricane Roofer, it struck a nerve.
We didn't feel alone. We felt like we needed to reach out and expose Hurricane Roofer for what they're doing.
After a hailstorm hit their Lake Worth neighborhood, Barr says he was approached by a representative from Hurricane Roofer who confirmed they had damage. The couple filed a claim with their insurance company and got a check for more than $20,000 for a new roof.
On June 10th, they signed an agreement with Hurricane Roofer and paid an $11,500 deposit according to the contract. The approximate start date was 6 weeks. It's now been 6 months.
We didn't hear any communication from them regarding a start date, anything, nothing.
So once they got the money, you stopped hearing from them?
Correct.
But the money came out of their account on June 23rd.
At this point, we just want our money back so we can get our roof done, as it should have been from the beginning.
And we're finding it's happening with other neighbors in the neighborhood.
That neighbor is Charlie Benoit, who still has a Hurricane Roofer sign in his front yard, even though he says the company never started the job.
As soon as I paid him, everything changed.
Benoit was working when we traveled to Lake Worth, so we caught up with him via Zoom. He says his insurance company paid out a claim for a new roof and sent him an $11,000 check. He has a notice of commencement and a signed invoice showing he endorsed the check to a Hurricane Roofer employee in May.
But since then, it's excuses after excuses.
He says his insurance company confirmed the check was cashed, but 7 months later, no new roof.
I feel that I got played, and really I feel powerless.
News 6 went to the company's office on Lake Underhill in Orlando, but got no answer.
This is Louis Bolden, investigative reporter with News 6.
We also left messages with owner Tim Fickus. Fickus texted a statement signed by an attorney reading in part, "We are open to resolution and direct communication. If the two individuals would like to engage in a constructive process to address scheduling, scope, or refund questions, our client remains willing to do so directly or through counsel."
They're untrustworthy, unreliable.
Louis Bolden, News 6.
Fraggle Rock has reached an all-new level with a brand-new live show at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. News 6 was at the debut of Fraggle Rock, a spacey adventure in this first-of-its-kind collaboration between the Jim Henson Company and NASA. The beloved Fraggles leave their magical underground caves to explore the wonders of today's NASA, like the Moon, the International Space Station, and NASA's Artemis missions.
Jim really loved technology and he loved innovation, and that's obviously what NASA does so well. And the Fraggles have always been about exploring new worlds. That's always been Uncle Matt's thing, exploring our world that he calls outer space. And we just started thinking how funny it would be for him to discover, oh my God, there's even more. There's outer space, and then in his mind, there's outer space.
The show features walk-around versions of the Fraggles and Doozer puppets. Fraggle Rock, a spacey adventure, shows twice daily and is included in admission. For all the latest on what's going on at Central Florida's theme parks, sign up for our In the Loop Theme Park Scoops newsletter. We send updates to your inbox every week. Head to clickorlando.com/newsletters to subscribe. All right, we're going to check in with meteorologist David Nazario, who's got our holiday forecast for us. David?
Yeah, Lisa, I don't know if I'm using the term correctly, but we've got like a Fraggle weather pattern over Central Florida and much of the South that's been dousing us with this heat for the last several days, but albeit comfortable. So let's go ahead and get you some headlines. That warmth will be sticking around for at least the next 7 to 10 days, give or take, leaving us ahead for a warm, mild, but nice Christmas with no major weather players in sight just yet. But I updated the bottom headline here. Models are gaining confidence of not just a cold blast, but a possibly big one. And I'll set the stage for that right now. Let's go over to the water vapor first. Check this out. Look closely at these shades of green here. Notice how they're kind of following an arcing pattern, like the St. Louis Arch, coming across the central portions of the U.S. and then dipping back towards the southeast off the east coast. That's that subtropical ridge that's keeping the heat in place and the rain at bay. But this evening, as I zoom us in rapidly on the radar, we've got a little bit of a backdoor cold front that's coming in the wrong direction off the east coast. So we've got some stray showers out here near Rockledge, Satellite Beach, Palm Bay, portions of Osceola County heading towards Lake Tahoe, Kissimmee. You might just get a little sprinkle out there, but that's about the only glimmer of rain we're going to see, at least for the time being. Temperatures outside right now in the upper 50s, low 60s across much of us. You can kind of see that front working in off the east coast with that bit of a difference between Titusville and New Smyrna Beach, almost a 10-degree difference as that cool air tries to wander in off the east coast. I'm looking at what our average high temperatures look like compared to what we've seen the last few days, and these are some impressive values, anywhere between 4 to 8 degrees above the norm for this time of year. So definitely a warm Christmas, to say the least. Well, also thanks to that high pressure, we've got some screaming easterly winds coming in off the east coast, and because of that, we've actually got a high rip current risk for Flagler, Volusia, and Brevard County, with 3 to 5 feet of surf associated with those gusty winds. And if this doesn't scream of Florida Christmas, I don't know what does. We're talking Christmas, wintertime, but beach forecast and beach conditions. So for tonight, lows are in the upper 50s, low 60s, mostly clear with that easterly wind component coming in off the Atlantic coast. How forecast lows across the board are going to be upper 50s the further north you go, low 60s for us in interior central Florida, closer to OIA in the metro area. And your forecast highs really aren't going to be changing much. Upper 70s, maybe a spot or two where we see 80 degrees in the afternoon, but this is going to be the repetition we follow for the next several days. The mornings are going to be where it's at, upper 50s for many of us, but then in the afternoon, again, look at this temperature trend, just hugging that above average threshold. And then here comes the twist. Watch what happens after Christmas. So the dome of subtropical ridging remains, but then look at this huge cold trough that just reaches down, literally out of central and eastern Canada all the way down to the upper periphery of Florida. As we go through the 28th, the 29th, look at this strong front that comes across the plains and rapidly accelerates off towards the southeast. Some of our computer models are hinting at below freezing air temperatures, not wind chill, air temperatures. But for the time being, here's your 7-day forecast. I wish it was a little more eventful, but if you notice, it looks like I just had some fun copying and pasting values because we're just not moving. Upper 70s and upper 50s for your afternoon highs and morning overnight lows for the next 7 days, making way for a mild but beautiful Christmas, Lisa.
All right, David, thank you. When you lose your goat, who are you going to call? Up next, we head to Lake County, where a 4-H Goat Busters group got a special call last month to help find an elusive goat.
Imagine living on a property that spans several acres and is surrounded by trees, but you have got a goat that is truly an escape artist. So who are you going to call? You're going to call the Goat Busters here in Lake County. I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod. We got an email from a viewer about this goat that escaped that night, so we had to come out here and meet the goat for ourselves and the Goat Busters who helped to rescue her. Is this your first goat rescue mission? Have you all done this before?
Yeah, this was probably our first.
While it might have been their first time wrangling an escaped goat, the 4-H Goat Busters in Lake County are certainly the right people for the job. A pregnant goat named Rowling escaped her owner's property on November 9th. The owner, Alicia Franklin, spent the entire day looking for her and eventually called in reinforcements the next day.
I knew what to do.
So you knew who to call?
I knew who to call.
The Goat Busters.
Who are you going to call?
The Goat Busters.
That's right.
A few members of the Goat Busters came out to look for Rowling during the day on November 10th, but after their meeting that night, the group showed up in full force.
At night, they had headlamps, they had feed, they had bait, they had rope. They were ready, and as you can see, that state road is very busy, very hectic, and even worse at night.
But it wasn't over just yet. Rowling was plotting another escape from her enclosure.
Seemed like she had some calculation that put through her head, and she charged, and she got decent speed, and then just head-butted her way through the hardware net.
However, Rowling's plans were cut short when 4-H volunteer Tracy Alsaba stopped the goat in her tracks.
And I grabbed her by the collar, and like she was trying to go, and I was on the ground.
She brought you to the ground?
Yeah, she brought me completely to the ground. I don't remember who it was. Maybe I leapt. Maybe she dragged me. I don't know.
The 4-Hers then came together to build a new, stronger pen for Rowling just a few months before she's set to give birth.
Always have a collar on your goat. we didn't have a collar on her, and I think that was our #1 mistake.
In Howey in the Hills, I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod, News 6.
Thank you for spending some time with us tonight. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. Have a great night.